What's up guys, Zack Scott here. If you are looking for action in a video game, then PvZ Battle for Neighborville is the game for you. But if you're looking for treasure, then PvZ Battle for Neighborville is also the game for you. This video will showcase how to get all 50 chests along with the 7 gold chests in Town Center. This was mostly edited by Xanator, so subscribe to me, and maybe him too. Anyway, you guys know the drill. The map is split into 3 sections here, and there are chests in each section. You can actually buy maps for them, but why buy maps? Why use tacos when you can just use a video like this? So basically, I'm not gonna, so the chests are pretty self-explanatory where they are. You're gonna see them on the maps like this right here, and then you're going to be able to see us actually get them right here. So I'm just gonna kind of fill the void here with some commentary. If there's anything that doing daily videos on YouTube for several years has taught me is how to sustain a rambling, one-sided conversation. So I'll excel at that. I'll talk a little bit. Maybe if I see a chest that looks a little bit tricky, then maybe I'll butt in and talk about it. But most of these chests are really self-explanatory via the map and via just seeing the footage here. So, save your tacos. What I want to talk about is week 1 right now of Founders Edition has just ended. Week 2, we're in the middle of week 2 now. And when I was making these guide videos with Jordan, aka Xanator, I didn't realize that week 2 would bring about a whole new story mode section. So that's pretty crazy, right? So there's a whole other set of guides we have to make for Weirding Woods, and we will. They just got the achievement there, pee in the pool, which a pea shooter goes into a pool. You can get that. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna have to work really hard, Jordan and I, to make week 2 guides for gnomes, diamond gnomes even, chest of course. I plan on making a video about how to get all the medals in Town Center, because some of them are tricky. Most of the medals, once more, are self-explanatory, but some of the medals are kind of tricky, like you don't really know what to do. But you know, I'll show you in a video. And also I got to cover the Giddy Park goldfish stuff. I haven't even done that yet. So a lot on the plate here, a lot of videos, guide videos going up on ZackScottGames. I'm trying to get a lot of these guides done before the formal release of this game next month, because right now, as you know, it's in early access. If you're planning on getting this game, I would highly recommend getting it in early access, because the Founders Edition is $10 cheaper. You also get exclusive gear, and you can have fun playing it as things unlock step by step. So what I thought about week 1 is that it's a huge success. I mean, right off the bat though, everyone misses things like, does that count as a chest? These do count as chests. Okay, cool. I think. Do these count as regular chests? The gnome chests count as chests. Okay, I got it. I gotcha. I didn't realize they counted as chests, but they do. Very cool. So the gnome chests are here for you guys to see as well. But those you have to actually have all the gnomes to get, so go check out my gnome video if you want to see them. So all the golden gnomes. So anyway, probably the biggest quote unquote controversy, it's not a real controversy, but the biggest, I guess you would say, the criticism that I've seen of this game is that there aren't any variants to the classes. Now, I don't know if there will be variants in the future. I honestly don't know. I don't have that information. I would love it if there were. But for now, elemental damage is restricted to character types. So like Electric Slide has electrical damage. The pea shooter has the splash damage. You know, who has ice? Does anyone have ice? Someone has ice. Maybe they don't. Maybe I'm wrong. See, I'm trying to think. Like I'm rambling. I'm trying to it's trying to come to my head. But maybe someone has ice. Man, I just don't remember right now. But you guys get the idea, right? You know, toxic damage is kind of done a little bit by Chomper. We've seen that. And fire damage by the Snapdragon. So the elemental damage, we don't have like a fire P, for example. So that's kind of been one of the criticisms, is that, you know, it lacks the subclasses of the different types. Now, for now, I'm okay with it, because it's still early on in the release. Like, even if it goes like that for the next several months, I'll be okay with it. What I hope to see, I mean, Jordan and I were talking about this before. What I would love to see is if they release new characters, like even more plants and zombies. Wouldn't that be cool, rather than variants, just fresh, new, completely new characters? Again, I have no info if that's ever going to happen. I hope it does, because then it could be like Overwatch, you know, where like they just have a bunch of new characters all the time. Not all the time, but every so often. And then, so the reason I just invoked Jordan's name, so I feel like I have to talk about this. The reason I have Jordan not only record new footage for the chest, but also edit these, is because it helps me save time to focus on you know, just doing the regular playthrough of the game, showcasing different characters like I want to. Some of the videos I've done myself, like the Diamond Gnome video I did all myself, but here having Jordan re-record getting the chests that I've already gotten, and then editing it all together is a huge help to me. So thank you so much, Jordan, for doing that. And it's actually easier for him to record the chests himself rather than to comb through my footage over several episodes, like hours of footage over several episodes, to try to locate and pinpoint the times in which I open up a chest. So that's the reason we do it in this manner. And I think it's a pretty effective, streamlined process. We do have, a lot to do, though. Like I said, week 2, Weirding Woods, also going to have another 57 total chests, regular chests along with gold chests. So that's going to be a really interesting thing to get through. I've been finding a ton of chests. I already have like 30 chests on my own. Jordan's fighting this guy. Oh, Jordan beat Fantastico. Okay, yeah. I don't know why I put it in here. I wasn't planning on doing any sort of... Well, actually, I was. I was going to squeeze in like the Fantastico stuff in my all metals video that I'm working on right now, because I do want to do the all metals video. Some of the stuff takes some explanation. Unlike this. To me, this doesn't require any explanation. Like, you can just see it. I was thinking about just doing this silent, just like showcasing this silently. That would have saved me like another 20 minutes. but no, I think that having some sort of commentary through this is pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoy it at least. If not, you can mute the video, just enjoy the visuals of finding the chests. There are, again, 50 regular ones and then 7 golden ones. So, I think they're all self-explanatory. But to be honest, I had to buy some maps to get some of mine. So I'm hoping that, that's maybe not a necessity. You can wouldn't you rather spend your tacos on the cool gear that they have? Because believe me, I've done 100% of Town Center, as you guys know. And I don't have enough tacos to buy the final 2 outfits, the final 2 costumes. I need like 700 or 800 tacos to do that. I don't have them, so I need to, though. I need to get them. Anyway, one thing about week 1 well, I guess the transition from week 1 to week 2 in the Founders Edition has unveiled to me is that, wow, they're like, they sure did, okay, they really knocked it out of the park, because these story experiences feel so complete. The boss fights are amazing. The narrative, the environments are amazing. The narrative is amazing. It's just a really phenomenally put together game. And then on top of it, you have all the multiplayer stuff. One thing that this game, so if Garden Warfare 2 started reminding you a little bit of Destiny, because I know that there's Destiny inspirations. You know how I know that? Because Rux is Xur backwards. Rux, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Destiny, but Xur is someone who comes by to give items. Well, same thing for this game, but it's Rux, which is backwards. And so in Garden Warfare 2, they had, quests where basically you would go from like a bulletin board, and they kind of borrowed a little bit from Destiny, and you would get bounties and quests or whatever, and you would go do them and get stars as a reward. Well, in Destiny 2, they kind of unveiled a similar type of system, but it was done differently, where they had several different planets that you would go to, and there were people on the planets that you could talk to, and that's kind of how it is in this game. You go to the different realms, Weirding Woods or Town Center or wherever, and there are different things to talk to, different people to talk to, and different quests to do. And of course, treasure. Destiny has treasure. Of course, Destiny's treasure is randomly spawned. This is in set places, but Destiny has traditionally had collectibles like ghosts, which is similar to the Golden Gnomes. Golden Gnomes were in the last game too, the Garden Warfare 2. When I was talking about the title of this game, I knew in advance that this game was not going to be called Garden Warfare 3, and I wasn't allowed to say anything about it. And so like, I was trying to think like, but I speculated that before I knew, I speculated that it wasn't going to be called Garden Warfare 3, because in their first press announcement, they said the next PvZ shooter. And if it was gonna be Garden Warfare 3, I feel like they would have just said Garden Warfare 3 is coming out soon. But this is not Garden Warfare 3, this is Battle for Neighborville. And my speculation as to why, I don't know the real answer why, but the speculation as to why this is called Battle for Neighborville rather than Garden Warfare 3, for example, is because a lot of games lately have been aiming to be like a really long-term... My dog just barked. A lot of the games lately have been aiming to have a lot of like long-term staying power, like Fortnite. Like if they make a sequel to Fortnite, they probably won't. They haven't made a sequel to Minecraft yet, although they're doing the whole dungeons thing. But they have, they're just called Minecraft. Ursa, it's okay. Don't bark. So basically, I was thinking like this is gonna I'm guessing that the aim of this game is to be around for a lot longer and to have more and more perpetual updates. For example, Fortnite is like a totally different game right now than it was when it first launched, and so I wonder if in like a year's time, if this Battle for Neighborville is going to also dramatically grow and become a totally different game than it was at launch. And so launch, by the way, is in October. We're still in the early access Founders Edition phase of the game. I think there's going to be 4 weeks. Week 3 is coming up next, of course. So that's how numbers work. So yeah, it's called Battle for Neighborville, and there's a lot to do already. But I wonder what they're going to add to it. And I feel like it's also from a marketing perspective, you know? Like sometimes sequels don't have numbers in movies, you know? Like the new Spider-Man movie wasn't called, Spider-Man 2 like it used to be. It was called like Spider-Man Homecoming, you know? So I feel like abandoning the numbering system is kind of helpful, although the next Plants vs. Zombies mobile game is going to be called PvZ 3, Plants vs. Zombies 3, as far as we know. That's what they've seemed to have launched it, so maybe they're sticking around for that, but I think that this game is going to be the basis for a much more broad, long-term experience, and so they maybe didn't want to go with Garden Warfare 3 in the numbering system. They wanted to set this aside from the whole new game. Also to manage expectations, because if they called it Garden Warfare 3, again, this is pure conjecture on my part, but that's what I'm assuming. If they called it Garden Warfare 3, they wouldn't be able to do some of the things that they did in Battle for Neighborville. For example, leaving out the subclasses. You know, because you would be like, wait a second, Garden Warfare 1 had subclasses, Garden Warfare 2 had subclasses, but there's none in Garden Warfare 3? That doesn't make sense. That's not a Garden Warfare game. So this is a Battle for Neighborville game. It's a little bit different. You know, they're allowed to express different forms of creativity, and by, either adding stuff or leaving things out, they can manage expectations with the title of the game. That's my conjecture. I don't know why my dog is barking, but that's okay. This particular chest, anytime Jordan has a really lengthy clip like this, it's because it requires the Mind Blower to get to. And just wants to show you the path, because these are probably, out of all the chests are all really easy, but this is probably one of the harder ones to get, simply because you need to know that it's behind here, that you need the Mind Blower to do it. And so anyway, that's why Jordan leaves this kind of stuff in. And I do thank him so much for helping me out. It saves me big time for him to edit these videos. It saves me a ton of time. If I had to record and edit these videos at the same time, I wouldn't be able to do all the character showcases that I do. So he's just showing here that there's a chest down here. And I don't remember if this is golden or why. I can't even tell from the screen. It's kind of dark in here. I think it's just a regular one. But anyway, yeah, so some chests also, they seem like they're off the map. You're like, how did I get that? Well, that's because you have to go, deep into the underground area. This is where the gnome puzzle was. If you know where this is, you know where the chest is. Go get it. Anyway, 20 tacos. That's good. That's a common thing. You need those tacos, though, because like the customizations, really require you to spin those tacos. There are some taco farming methods that I've looked up. It requires basically 2 players and using the Mind Blower to take out big bosses, or just using the Mind Blower in general to take out regular bosses that show up. That's important to know if you want to know that. I'm probably not gonna make a video about that. There are videos like that on YouTube that kind of talk about it, but when I make videos, I tend to try to make them into lengthy like Let's Plays with character showcases, or I try to make shorter, more condensed guides. Eventually, once we do all the bosses that are, in the first 4 weeks or whatever, then I'm going to do an all bosses video. That's going to be a compilation of my gameplay with all the bosses. And I think that's going to be really, really good because there are a ton of bosses here. In fact, today I just uploaded another video. I hope you guys enjoy it, but it's the boss fight against Dreadwood. So I think that's very cool, and I think they're up now. I hope they're processed fully. I need to go look and see if they actually are processed fully, because I forgot that I scheduled them. Sometimes I schedule videos on YouTube, and they don't process in time in HD, and so the first comments are like, why is this not HD? And it's like, you got to explain, like, well, that's just how YouTube works. It's like sometimes they don't process in HD very quickly. I wish they did. They are done in HD, though, so that's good. Anyway, I'm also still playing Plants vs. Zombies 2, and they've really ramped up Plants vs. Zombies 2. They've been releasing new plants like every other week, it seems, or every week lately, and they just released the Pokra, and so that's a really cool plant as well. But we're talking about Battle for Neighborville. We're not talking about Plants vs. Zombies 2. So, talking about new classes, I still, like, if they release new classes, I don't know what they're going to put in. I really don't. I don't know. I don't even know where to begin. Because I wasn't expecting any of the zombies. Like, if you would have asked me, like, a long time ago, like, what kind of... It's easier to pick plants, because if you look at the roster of plants that are in, Plants vs. Zombies, Plants vs. Zombies 2, even Plants vs. Zombies Heroes, you can look at those, and you could see that like, oh, well, there's a Snapdragon that's pretty major, but there's no Snapdragon character that you can play as. And of course, when I thought about that, in particular when talking about Snapdragon, when I thought about Snapdragon, I thought, well, why would you want to be Snapdragon? Because you already have the fire-breathing chopper. Turns out you can get rid of the fire-breathing chopper, and then you need a Snapdragon. So, so that's how they kind of managed that. So it's not like I didn't see the Snapdragon coming. I just kind of saw him as a little bit redundant. But without, you know, fire-breathing chopper, I mean, I guess the Snapdragon is pretty darn good to have. Of course, he has other moves too. The fire, being able to shoot the wall of fire is really cool. Here's another mind blower path that you got to follow. But then, you know, I was of course begging for a mushroom class ever since the first Plants vs Zombies, and so so yeah. But the Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2, you know, didn't have one, sadly, and I was disappointed. But it was a great game anyway. But thankfully they put Nightcap in. Nightcap on Plants vs Zombies Heroes is totally different than the Nightcap here. The Nightcap here is female. But anyway, there's also there's one more plant. Why am I not thinking of it right now? We had the Nightcap, Snapdragon. Oh, so the Acorn was another one I didn't see coming. The reason why is because we already had a Torchwood. And so they basically kind of replaced the Torchwood with Acorn and Oak in a way. You know, it's kind of a big tank type. And I like that. You know, I do like the Acorn and Oak. It's kind of an analog to the on the Imp side of things. You know, on the zombie side of things, where you have the Imp who can summon the mech. That's kind of a similar mechanic. So I do enjoy that. I really do enjoy those characters. And so looking at, you know, Space Cadet, I never really anticipated you know, a Space Cadet type character. Never. Electric Slide makes a lot of sense. Because you know, you look at a disco zombie and you're like, well, you could have that as a playable character maybe. But Electric Slide is a really cool female version of that with some really cool electric moves. And again, that's another reason why, you know, if you look at the subclasses, like, how are you gonna do like a fire version of her? She's gonna be called Fire Slide. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they are gonna make subclasses ever. I could see them maybe going the path where they just release whole new characters. And so and then of course the 80s action hero, didn't see him coming at all either. So he's kind of an interesting place. He does explosions, which you know, we don't really have anyone who does those right now on the zombie side, except for All-Star has the explosive Imp Punt. Right now the Imp Punt's kind of unreliable though. I hope they change that soon. Anyway, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, if you look at the roster, I mean, especially if you dig into Plants vs Zombies Heroes, there's a lot of possibilities there about what you could potentially do in terms of having another zombie character. But oh, here's another. This is another gold chest, a long ways off because of you need the mind blower for that. We're almost done with this episode, but I just kind of I was wanting to quickly jump into maybe a couple of ideas that I could maybe see them adding. And this is gonna be really hard. But if you think about it, you could bring in something along the lines of maybe like a melon type of character, someone who does massive splash damage. We haven't seen any melons yet, but I don't know if they will do that. But I'm just saying maybe they could. You could also maybe do. Well, we already have the cactus. You could maybe dip into some of the newer plants that they come out with. And you could maybe bring in something that's more of a mentalist type of playing. Like, I don't know, another support class, like maybe the Cauliflower could be really cool. Someone who could like really get into the minds and affect other people with some magical powers. Of course, that's one of my favorite plants from Plants vs Zombies 2. And then for you know, zombies, you know, the sky is basically the limit for zombies. If you look at the heroes roster, I mean, holy cow! If you look at the heroes roster, I thought that they maybe, you know, it would make sense to bring in Nightcap. You know, if you just by looking at the roster, you're like, okay, that could be the mushroom class. They could call it Nightcap. Anyway, this is the final chest coming out. So I want to thank you guys for watching, but we're wrapping it up here. We're done. If you know, for the future chess videos, I'll probably just kind of freestyle my commentary like I'm doing now. But you know, for the other ones, I do more thoughtful commentary because you need to know specific info when I talk about like the gnomes and where to get them and how to get them. So hopefully that makes sense. It looks like Jordan couldn't find the path here. That's funny. Well, I did that too when I played it, but it was funny that Jordan left that in. And there's the another chest, the gold chest right there. So that was all the chests. I hope you do enjoy the showcase. You know, I really did enjoy it myself, watching it from this perspective and commentating over it. But be sure to subscribe to either one of us, both of us, please, Jordan and me. Be sure to like this video if it helps you out, or if you just enjoyed the commentary, giving you guys something a little bit different to keep you engaged into the viewing process. I'm glad you watched until the end. Everyone should always watch all of my videos until the end, because that's what makes the most sense to me. What is Jordan doing? Well, I think he was looking for other things too during this process. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's it. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time for more. I'm Zack Scott. Subscribe if you have not. If you like this video and want to help this channel grow, all you gotta do is click the like button below. Thank you so much for watching. You can now join and become an official member of ZackScottGames. And if you want cool shirts like this, visit ZackScott.shop.